Good morning, world. It is 5:46 a.m. in the morning, so I'm going to make a quick 30-minute video before I go to bed and sleep. And I'll upload the video as soon as I can. You guys will enjoy the video later on today, obviously. And today, as usual, I'll make another. Today, I'll try my best to make a good 1 hour to 1 hour and 30-minute video. I'll try my best to make a good 1 hour video in the evening when I wake up. Then after my video, as usual, I'll go to the store, get my beer and smokes. I can't. I've been eating a bit of junk food the past couple of days. I have to stop eating junk food. So tomorrow I will not. Today I will not get food. I'll just eat food at home. Or I might get that cheesecake. I'm craving a cheesecake badly. But I'll eat food at home. I'll eat the food at home, obviously. Today I went to the diner and I got like Snack Shack. There's a good diner here now. We're called Snack Shack, right? I got like two burgers in the poutine. I got like cheese bacon burger, two of them, man, and a poutine. It was really good, man. They have amazing food, Snack Shack. It's a diner here in Elm where they have. It's expensive though. It cost me like $24. It's fucking expensive for two burgers and a poutine and a small drink. $24. That's crazy. It's like half the price of McDonald's. And then yesterday I had me, and then the day before yesterday I had McDonald's. I went to McDonald's. I got three McDoubles, and then I've been eating some junk food the past couple of days. Hence why I have to tone it down. So if there isn't that good that much food to eat at home, I might get Subway, but like I gotta be careful about how I spend my money. Obviously, but I got my $600 government check, so I have enough till the end of the month. Obviously, yeah, yeah. So Avatar 2 is out on theaters, guys. So all you guys around the world, I recommend you guys check out Avatar: The Way of the Water, James Cameron's sequel to the original in 2009. Sincere. But I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to talk about Black Panther. I predicted Black Panther, Wakanda Forever would do 750 to about $1 billion, and I predicted it will not be as good as the first one. The first teaser trailer that got released looked really good. It even looked kind of better than the first movie. I said that in one of my videos. And when I watched the second trailer, I'm like, yeah, something tells me this movie will not be as good as the first one. The first one was a masterpiece. It was very tough to top that. And Chadwick Boseman, the star, is not in the movie. He passed away almost 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, and what? He's hence why I'm like, yeah, I believe Wakanda Forever will be a hit, but I don't think it'll do 1.3 billion like the original Black Panther. And I was right. As right now, Black Panther is sitting at about almost $800 million in the box office. So I predicted 750 million to that $1 billion range, perhaps billion one less, but I predicted it will not do 1.3 like the original did, obviously, a couple years ago. Some saying, and I was right, but I was wrong about the Matrix. The Matrix I predicted it will do 400 million. I'm going to make a prediction for Avatar. I don't believe Avatar: Way of Water will be as good as the first movie, to be honest. Just because I think the first movie was what the first movie had a really good story. You have the main character Jake Sully. He's disabled. He's a disabled soldier. He's a disabled man, obviously. You know what I'm saying? They go to the world of Pandora. He ends up. Yeah, he's tasked in finding out. He's tasked in finding out how what to get the Navi to move from their location, so the humans can drill the what the drill on their land, obviously. And he ends up siding with the Navis, right? And he ends up this what this disabled man ends up becoming the leader of the Navi, and he falls in love with leader's daughter. It's an amazing story, and he ends up going against his own race to save the Navi's homeland. Yeah, amazing story. I don't think Way of the Water will top that story, man. I'm sorry. I know I believe Way of the Water will be a good movie, but I don't think it'll be as good as the first one. I'm making a prediction for me personally, and I don't think it'll do as much as the first Avatar. So I think Avatar 2 will do a billion. I think it'll hit $1 billion, but I don't think it'll hit $2 billion. I think it'll do under $2 billion. I think it'll do under $2 billion. Ivan, you think it'll do more than 1.5? I'm predicting it'll do 1.1 billion to 1.7 billion, 1.8 billion dollars. Avatar 1 billion to 1.9 billion, perhaps. Avatar 2 will do in the box office between that range. But I don't think we'll hit 2 billion. So yeah, I don't think Avatar 2 will be as good as the first. I think the first one will be better than the second one, to be honest. Because I saw the trailer, The Way of the Water. I'm like, yeah, this movie looks good. It's like 15, 14 years later, whatever it is. Jake Sully and Naturi have kids. But what story are you gonna tell after that, after the original story? You don't there's not much humans in the movie, you know what I'm saying? I don't they have a conflict with the tribes, I don't know. You have something to do with the water? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the story's about, Sarah. This movie looks good, but I don't think it'll be as good as the first one. Something tells me it will not be as good as the first one. Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. I recommend New World, you check it out. I will see Avatar Way of the Water on theaters probably towards the end of the year. New Year's Eve, I might see the movie. I'll see it by myself. I'll bus to Hull. I only have to take one bus. It's like a 15-minute bus ride, 17-minute bus ride. I can see Avatar in Hull, Quebec. Because it's the Elmer Cinema. I would love to see it in Elmer, but the Elmer Cinema closed down because of COVID, obviously. And so I have to go to Hull to see it, obviously. I might do a marathon. I might see Wakanda Forever around 4. Then at nighttime, I see Avatar 2. Obviously, I see Avatar 2, obviously. I might do that. See what happens. Or I can see it at home, and I will see what happens, obviously. And today, John Campion will be doing his review of Avatar 2, as he watched Avatar 2 yesterday, obviously. And Rob watched it too, so you're going to stay tuned, guys, all you John Campion fans. John Campion and Rob Burnett will be doing a review, a non-spoiler review for Avatar 2. I wonder what John's going to say. I wonder if he's going to say, I like the first one better, I like the second one better. We'll see what happens. Okay. I just finished watching John Campion, a very interesting show. They talked about DC, you know what I'm saying, Henry Cavill leaving. Yeah, remember how I announced how Henry Cavill was back as Superman? Yeah, Henry Cavill's out of Superman. He's no longer Superman anymore. Obviously, because of the new ownership at DC, obviously they made a few changes. Obviously, because according to some reports, they might reboot the DC franchise. They might reboot it, or they won't reboot it. We'll see what happens. Obviously, right? Yeah. Obviously. Well, high chance James Gunn will probably not be available for one of my script developers. Because guaranteed DC will extend him. They're going to extend the guy's contract. This is my prediction, if the new DC franchise, the new DC universe is successful within the next couple of years, guaranteed Warner Bros. Are going to extend James Gunn. They're going to extend his contract, obviously. I heard he signed a 4-year contract. I'll be starting Scars probably a good 3 years from now, so James Gunn will probably be under contract for DC. And DC does not want to lose a guy like James Gunn. That's why they're gonna offer him a lot of money. They can't compete with my offer, obviously. 4 years is what, 2027. 2026 around there, I should be starting Sky. So James Gunn will be under contract, so he's out of the picture pretty much. Ryan Coogler might be locked on to work for Marvel too. I heard he might direct the new Avengers, Secret Wars or Secret Invasion movie, whatever it is. It's either Secret Wars or Secret Invasion. Yeah, I heard he might direct one of those movies. He might be locked on. Yeah, and Jon Favreau might be locked on too for Mando. You never know. We'll see what happens, obviously. But guaranteed, once I start Sky Source, all these guys are going to do whatever they can to get to find. They're going to find a way to get out of their contract because I'd rather work for Ivan than work in fucking Hollywood and be safe and experience have buzz with him. Yeah, experience his Sky Source company and yeah. All the CEOs who work for my company don't have to worry about the company losing money. My company will guarantee to make money. I'm a son of God. I have the keys. Make my easy money. All they have to do is just work hard for me, and I'm willing to pay all these guys more money than what even Hollywood pays them. Some Sarah. But something tells me, man, even though I love James Gunn, you know what I'm saying, and Peter Rice and all these guys, something tells me Jon Favreau and Filoni, I'm going to click with the best out of everyone else. obviously. But Dave Filoni is a questionable choice, obviously, because he doesn't really have much producing. He produced the Mandalorian show. He's executive producer of the Mandalorian and Boba Fett, obviously. But uh, Dave Filoni is an animation guy. He doesn't have much live action experience. But it doesn't mean you. But it doesn't. But Jon Favreau has that experience. He can easily groom Dave Filoni. You can have George Lucas help groom Dave Filoni to run the company, obviously, because that's why I know what I'm doing. I want to hire George Lucas to consult with those two guys to help them out, give them advice, that kind of stuff. That way you groom them. Sarah. But somebody tells me, yeah, I'm gonna click the best with. Somebody tells me I'm gonna click the best with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni more than guys like James Gunn and like Peter Rice and like Ryan Coogler and what and like Zack Snyder or the Russo brothers. I think I'll click very well with the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers, I think I'll click well with them too. But the Russo brothers, they have producing experience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there are a lot of cats. All those guys, if they're under contract, if I start Scotches in like 2026, they're all going to try their very best to get out of their contract hours because I'd rather work for Ivan than work in fucking Hollywood. Yeah, because my company's buried in Hollywood, and they don't want to be left behind. They want to be saved. Sarah? They don't want to be left behind. They want to be saved. They don't want to be left behind. They want to be saved. Sarah? Yeah. And once all these directors and Hollywood screenwriters, executives read my Zane's book, they're all gonna be like, "Holy shit, Ivan wrote him. Ivan's a talented, gifted writer, man. Like he wrote like the best like story ever told. Yeah, man. If you think all these Marvel movies, all these DC movies are good, man, Zane's is a masterpiece, man. Trust me, John Campion and Robert Emmerdale, once they read my book, they're gonna be like, "Holy shit, Ivan's a fucking talented, gifted writer, man. He wrote a masterpiece, man." They start to think about the story. Holy shit, this is a masterpiece. It's a beautiful story. Yeah, that's a beautiful story, obviously. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. Zane's is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece of a story. Yeah, man. It's a masterpiece, Zanus. It's a masterpiece. Literary masterpiece, cinematic masterpiece. Obviously. But I told you, if you want to make a good Zanus movie, you have to really be prepped. You have to write a good script. There's nothing worse than writing a shitty script. You got to write an amazing script. But because Zanus is an amazing story, as long as you follow the book and I take my notes with VJ, we plan out the 3 volumes and we took a bunch of notes. We're prepped, and Peter takes his notes and you watch those movies. We do the concepts. We discuss the movie. You'll get a good movie. Peter Jackson's a talented director, as well as Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's a very talented director. You see what I'm saying? Ivan, when you get different movies, yes. If Mel Gibson directs my Zane's movie, you will get a different movie than Peter Jackson's version of the movie. You'll get 2 different versions of the movie. The question is, which version of the movie is better? Mel Gibson's version or Peter Jackson's version? I believe Peter Jackson's version of Lord of the Rings, you have more of that fantasy, secular feel. Because Peter Jackson's not a man of faith. He's not a Christian. So I believe if Peter Jackson made Zanus, it'd be a more like secular fantasy feel. Whereas Mel Gibson, you get that fantasy feel, but it's a bit darker. You have more of that those more Christian themes in it. Because Mel Gibson's a man of faith. You'll get 2 different versions of the movie. The question is, which version is better, obviously. Because Peter is a fantasy guy. Mel Gibson did Passion Christ. He's good for the biblical themes in Zanus and the horror and gore of the wolves. Because Passion Christ, you watch the movie, you see all these demonic beings, the devil, that demonic baby, the forces of the demonic forces are watching Jesus as he gets tortured and killed. Yeah, that's why Mel Gibson's very good for that too. And Zanus, I almost feel sorry for you. Have demonic beings watching in the sky and that kind of stuff. That's why Mel Gibson's really good. Just like in Passion of Christ, you have the devil and that demonic baby watching Jesus when they torture him and kill him. Yeah, you look at an amazing story. That's why it's tough. And Mel Gibson's a talented director. Like you look at all the movies he directs, they're all really good movies. Like you have you guys all remember that movie Apocalypto that came out like 2006? That was an amazing movie. I love that movie. I saw it like a couple times. Yeah, this is an amazing movie. Hacksaw Ridge, amazing. Braveheart, amazing. Mel Gibson's a Passion of Christ. Mel Gibson is a talented director. Talented director. Peter is a talented director too because he did Lord of the Rings. So they're both really good. That's why you're gonna see how hard they're gonna compete for that job, man. That's something crazy. That's why I don't want to, even though I'm tempted to just choose Peter, I don't want to do that, as I might perhaps choose VJ. Even though I love Peter, I think Mel's a better man for the job, man, not Peter. So I'm saying, yeah, I might choose Mel over Peter. I like talking about Peter a lot because he did Lord of the Rings, but it doesn't mean I'm going to choose him. I might choose Mel over him. So I'm saying, yeah. And if I choose Mel, I'll still hire Barry Osborne to executive produce. I won't hire Fran. I'll hire someone else to help to help with my 17. Sarah, and hire someone who Mel knows to be my assistant producer to help my 17. And I'll ask Mel, who's the best assistant director to help you? I can still hire Guillermo del Toro if I hire Mel Gibson, obviously. I'll ask Mel, who's the best assistant director to help him? He tells me, and then you hire the best assistant director to help Mel Gibson, obviously. Peter might tell me, Ivan, why don't you direct it? Just have me produce it and you can direct it. I'm like, Peter, no, man, I can't act and direct. It's too stressing. I could act and I could direct, but it's fucking stressing, man. I'm going to be very stressed out. I don't have time to run the company, sign all these contracts, executive produce, memorize lines, and direct at the same time. It's too much work. I'll be stressed out. And to be fair, Peter, even though I'm very gifted and I'm creative, I don't have any directing experience. If you're the director, you're the boss of the movie. Everyone is coming to you for all the questions, man. You're lead. You're what? You're running the ship, man. So if I choose to direct, that means all the departments, all the art departments, the special effects people, the consoles are all coming to me for questions. It's stressing. I don't have that experience, but Peter has that experience. He was the boss of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. He will take that. Him and Guillermo del Toro will take that stress on you. Him and Guillermo del Toro. His name is Guillermo del Toro. But I like calling him Guillermo del Toro. I'm butchering his name. Don't hate me, Guillermo del Toro. I'm saying. Yeah. That's why you hire a director who has experience. And Peter was the boss of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. He ran the ship, man. You know what I'm saying? The studios had some involvement, obviously, in some of the decisions, but Peter was the boss of Lord of the Rings. He was the boss of The Hobbit. He has that experience. He will take that stress off me. And all the departments will be coming to him for questions. I'm more than happy to help him out a little bit, obviously. And Guillermo del Toro is there to help him out, too. And my two short posts can help him out, too, so I'm saying. That way he has some help. Frank can help him out a little bit with some of the creative stuff that you want to, yeah. That way he has help, obviously. That way he's not stressed out. So Zetas, I'll make it for $1,020,000,000. So $410 towards salaries, paying my cast and my crew and my 17, and $10 million towards the documentary, paying the cameramen, feeding them, their living, their flights, renting the movie cameras. Obviously, the movie. I'm renting movie cameras, right? Renting the movie cameras. The cheaper, and I'm gonna rent like I don't know $25,000-$30,000 independent movie cameras for the documentary. I'll rent a good 10 to 15 of them. It won't cost you much. It only cost me a couple $100,000 to rent the cameras. Not that expensive. And special effects, the equipment for the camera, like lighting equipment, sound equipment, drones for high shots. You gotta rent all that for the dog. That's all paid through it. Paying your editor and renting the editing software for editing the documentary. That's all paid through the $10 million budget for the documentary. And then $600 million towards the movie. Used to fund everything in the movie. Obviously, you guys already know what I'm talking about. I mentioned this briefly many times in my past videos. There. Yeah. Yeah. And Peter, I'll pay him his $85 million base. And I'll give him $15 million of the Sky Source film profits, or 0.6% of the profits. And Mel, I'll pay him his $170 million of the profits. It's a good deal for him, and I'll pay him a $56 million base salary. It's a good deal for Mel Gibson, obviously. So pay Mel 10 and you pay him 40 base. It's a good paycheck, and you pay him his $6 million bonus after film is completed. Or you can pay him his $46 million for the I don't know, 10 months of filming. And then Peter, I'll pay him his 65, and he gets a 10 million bonus for the 10 months of film. That's a good deal for Peter Jackson. Get the $2,000 gift card, $300 gas card, the perks. You get flown on my luxury private jet, fired up my nice yacht, my $300 condo, to work on my nice property of land, ground to will look like property, something beautiful. Limo services, luxury buffet, beer, all that stuff. Featured on my magazine attributes, my Sky Source and use, yeah, it's something top notch. I'm gonna tell my website I'm looking at. I want something like Hollywood Reporter and Variety for my Sky Source news section. That's where all the news gets featured. Yeah, I can do that for you. He designs a beautiful, like a top high end website. Yeah. So you have a section trailers. So when you log into my SkySource.net website, you have a section trailers. You have documentary. You have contact info. Obviously, you have the main page. Obviously, you have red carpet. You have the Radbrad's walkthrough. If I do the games, if I don't, I will not hire Rad. Don't hate me, Radbrad. You know what I'm saying. You have what? You have merch, and you have movies. Obviously, so whenever I release the movie for purchase, obviously, I'll have an ad on my main page. But after a couple months, I'll put the movie in. I'll put the movie in the movie section if you want to buy it later on, and I'll do the same thing with the merch. Okay, whenever the movie is available and the world's excited, you have this ad on my main page to buy it on the link to Amazon for the merch and the 4K Blu-ray box set on my main page. But after a couple months, when the buzz dies down, you put it in the movie section and merch section. Some Sarah, for future if fans want to buy another copy of my movie or more merch. Some Sarah, and you also have the Sky Source news, and that's where all the news is featured. The news is featured. So I'll hire interviewers to interview a telecom interview, right? They interview me, VJ, my 7 team, Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson, and Fran, Barry Oswald, and then the stars, and it gets featured on my website. I'm gonna tell the actors, look, man. I'm gonna tell the actors, look, man. Even though like you're excited, they're gonna interview you. Obviously, don't give too much stuff away. What's going on? Keep it non-spoilerish. If you know what I mean. Yeah, just saying, yeah. Don't, like, whenever they ask you questions, don't spoil a bunch of things about the movie and about the project. You can mention a few things, but keep it generic. Don't make it too specific. I just don't want to spoil a bunch of stuff for the fans. I'm sorry. Now, I want my business to be professional. I don't want you spoiling a bunch of things. No, keep it generic. Keep it general. I'm sorry. I know what I'm doing. That way you don't spoil a bunch of stuff. That way your company's professional. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, and I gave Peter Mel Gibson an unlimited budget. Money that Hollywood cannot afford to give him. As Hollywood gives Peter like 100, 150, 200 million budgets, I'm giving him $1 billion budget, man. My company will blow out of the water. Yeah, man. Guys, if you think Way of the Water looks amazing, the technology of Zanes will blow that out of the water, as I am pouring $400+ million towards CGI visual effects and an unheard of amount of money towards unheard of sets. You also have, I'm renting the best cameras in the business, the film IMAX cameras. I'm updating all the cameras. I'm getting the best equipment for the cameras. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Putting a lot of money towards the mask and the costumes. Look at an amazing movie, man. So think of a world more beautiful than Pandora. James Cameron's Pandora. Don't hate me, James Cameron. And think of action scenes is better than Peter Jackson's Helm's Deep, War, and Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. And think of demons that will make Pennywise a clown. Think of horror that will make The Exorcist, Pennywise a clown, The Shining, the Conjuring franchise, the Annabelle franchise. Will make all these franchises, these movies look good. And The Conjuring is a freaky fucking movie, man. Remember that scene in the beginning when she's like, "There's something there. I think there's something behind the door." Remember that? That was fucking freaky, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Annabelle Horror, the original movie in the 1970s, that was a freaky movie. I remember when I saw that movie, I couldn't sleep. I had like a nightmare, man. I couldn't sleep. I remember I saw Annabelle Horror like years back, like 2007 around there, 2008 around there. I watched it. It was fucking scary. I remember I couldn't sleep because that movie gave me the creeps, obviously. I'm saying, yeah. Ivan, what do you think is the most scariest movie of all time? The most scariest movie of all time is probably the 1973 Exorcist movie, the first Exorcist movie, the original Exorcist movie that came out. That was a fucking scary movie, man. I remember when I watched that movie, I'll tell you a story. This is back in what, 2010, I believe? Yeah, 2000. This is like 12 years ago. Around the time I just finished high school, obviously. I remember I watched it on a port. I rented the movie at Videotron. This is back in the DVD days, right? When DVD was still pretty popular. This is when streaming began to become popular, obviously, in 2010. I remember I rented the movie at Videotron. I rented the movie, obviously, and I watched it in my room on my portable DVD player. I remember when that scene when that woman, that girl was possessed by the devil, obviously. And she's like, "Yeah, cocksucker." You know what I'm saying? I remember I had my earphones on. I felt like I had this like chill go down my spine. I had like goosebumps. And this is when there were people in the house, but there were lights on in my room. I remember I was looking around my room. This movie's disturbing. This is creepy shit. Yeah. Well, Aerotech will make that the Exorcist movie look good, man. You're looking at demons and devils. You're looking at real horror. There's never been a movie made, guys, where you have like like you have the South that's cursed, and all the demonic beings live in the South, obviously, in a city called Barak, and Eret's the king of the South. It's like, oh, he's like the walking devil walking in the South. It's real horror. It's not jump scare horror like these movies like Conjuring and Annabelle. No, it's real horror. He's literally the walking devil himself in wolf's flesh as a devil wolf king. Yeah. You also have the devil king battle the mountains. He feasts, man. You're looking at him. You're looking at something scary, man. Yeah, man. You also have the music. Hans Zimmer will compose like freaky music for the orcs, or for the wolves and bats. Yeah, man. That's why it's actually the best story ever told in most adventure. Yeah, man. You're the best movie Joe's ever made. And if you think, John Campia and Rob Maymon are raving over, you know what I'm saying, James Gunn and Peter Safran, the new executives, heads of DC. They talk about, you know what I'm saying, they're hyped about the plan going forward for the new DC era, obviously. Yeah, well, they're gonna. If you think that's crazy, they're gonna be going crazy for Zane's. But something crazy. You're gonna see Neil Two Stars Theory going crazy for Zane's. Yeah, man. Zane's will have crazy worldwide buzz. Oh my god, that Aerotat's fucking scary, man. That gave me chills, man. Yeah, Aerotat's so scary that when you see him in the trailer, he's gonna give you chills. You're gonna have that goosebump. That goosebump. And you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get these chills. Holy shit, Aerotat's a devil. I feel bad for Ivan and his actors. Yeah. Because once the Zanus actors see the trailer of the first trailer of Zanus, you see all three trailers get released, obviously, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Vaughn George, John Boyega, and Carl may tell me, "Hey, Ivan, man, did you see the new trailer, man? The Volume Future?" I'm like, "No, I didn't see it yet." You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, Ivan, you gotta check this out, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what, Ivan? Like Ivan, the Aerotatum are fucking scary, Ivan. They're fucking demons, Ivan. Like, that gave me chills, man. I'm like, Ivan, we're fucked. We're fighting these devils, Ivan. This demonic army, Ivan. Like, we're fucked, Ivan. That's fucking scary, Ivan. I might even cry for myself, Ivan. Yeah, you're looking at demons. A legendary story. Aerotat's so scary that me and all the stars are going to be remembered as legends. Yeah, man. I might have the guy speak in the trailer. You know what I'm saying? Feel for the characters. You know what I'm saying? These characters will be remembered as legends. Directed by Peter Jackson, the mastermind behind Lord of the Rings. Directed by Mel Gibson, the mastermind behind The Passion of the Christ and Hacksaw Ridge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and the whole world's going crazy for that fucking movie. Yeah, man. Get it only on 4K Blu-ray. Only on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something cool. The movie will have crazy worldwide and national. And that's why you guys are full of abandoned by God. And you're gonna cry because you now feel the price of being left behind. Holy shit. I even set this whole thing up, man. Like, we're abandoned from this glory, man. Yeah, man. You made me pay to be my wife when I didn't do anything wrong. And so there'll be some days when I'll be a bit sad, obviously, being with VJ because it comes at a price. Because she fucks all of them, pretty much, I don't know, probably all the men in Hollywood. Yeah, you made me pay a price. That's why I'm king. You're left behind. You're not saved. You gotta deserve that. And that's why the Zane's actors are gonna beg. Because they experienced the part after. Well, I know, I signed them. The doc team's filming them. I signed them, obviously. So the actors can't wait to watch documentary. The doc team's constantly filming them. They sign their contracts in my nice office. I take them out to nice dinner. And they party at my theater condo. Hey, cheers, guys. We're gonna be movie stars. The Zay's family. The Zay's family. Are you guys ready to go on this perfect journey with me and my wife? We're ready, Ivan. Peter, are you ready to go on this perfect journey with me and my wife? I am ready, Ivan. Guillermo Toro, are you ready to go on this perfect journey with me and VJ? We're ready, Ivan. We're in this together. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cheers, guys. We're gonna be stars. Cheers. They all give it cheers. The actors have a good time. They get drunk with me and Peter and Guillermo Toro, Mel Gibson. Yeah, they have a blast, man. Yeah. And they're gonna take pictures. Hey, I'm at a party right now. They're gonna post it on their social media. Yeah, that might trend. It's been crazy. I'm saved. You're all left behind. Yeah, they know they're lucky Joseph's saved. That's why they're gonna brag. See, it's finally gonna hit their minds. Holy shit! I even set this whole thing up, man. Like we're lucky to be saved by God, man. We're so lucky to. It's a good feeling seeing Iron and Ouija every day, man. Because we're part of this buzz with them. Yeah, it's a good feeling. And once the movie ends, they don't want to lose that feeling. That's why they're all gonna beg. Peter will beg, Mel will beg, Fran, his wife, will beg, Bray Austin will beg, and Molitor will beg. Ivan, can I work on your Great Escape, Ivan, or your Mages? I'm like, no, you guys are not good for the movie. Ivan, I don't want to go back to Hollywood. I'm like, I know you don't, but you get what you deserve. You're gonna go back to Hollywood and left behind. You get what you deserve, man. Don't hate me, I'm saying. Yeah, Zane's a lot of crazy why about something crazy, yeah. That's why I want to be strict with Peter. Peter, even though you have full power, I don't want Aratat to be a full-on CGI wolf. I don't want a PG-13 Zane's movie, and I don't want a PG-13 Aratat and Nephesis and around for full. No, I want these guys to be rated R demonic beings. So, Ivan, you want the war to be gory? Yes, I want the war to be gory. You see heads cut off, everything, obviously. Aratat feasts on human flesh. I want that all to be gory. That way you tell a powerful story. They're all demonic beings. They feast on human flesh. But the sex scenes, you can dial it down, obviously. The sex scenes you can have is something like Underworld Rise of the Vikings. When Lucian had sex with what? With Victor's daughter. I forget her name. I forget her name, yeah. That's why it's answered the best story told the most picture, yeah, man. It was yours, feels. I have a man, I'm signing up. Peace.